So they don't let Donald Trump on cable TV for the most part. They don't let him on social media. It's interesting how infrequently the people actually hear from Trump. Look, I'm a huge Trump fan. I don't even have Truth Social. I haven't downloaded yet. The last thing I need is another logon and password. I guess I should get it. I'll get it eventually, like in a year. I'm just, so he's not as central as he should be, as I want him to be, quite frankly. Now, here on Newsmax, if Donald Trump does something newsworthy, and just about every time he does anything, it's newsworthy, we cover it. Like Saturday night, he had a huge rally in Pennsylvania. We were there. Fox News, yes, Fox News. You know, they ignore him. Yeah, this is Saturday night. At that time, at that very time, I like Greg Gutfeld, but they ignored President Trump. That's what they do.
God, this is pathetic. You know what? Those guys over there, they don't like you, Trump, like I like you. You know, you're my best friend. You know what? I can't believe they did you like that. Let's talk about them behind their backs. Oh, at least it's not behind their backs, it's on air. In fact, he did it straightforward. He's not just talking about them. He's calling out names over at Fox News. Let's let Greg Kelly continue.
So last night, this is last night at Mar-a-Lago. Isn't it important to hear what President Trump has to say the night of the midterms? I think so. Newsmax thinks so. We took his comments live. What do they do over on Fox News? It was a continuation of the Bret Baier Martha show, right? No, we're not. We're not going to look at the President of the United States, former our chairman, Rupert Murdoch. Somebody said not to. So we're not going to do it. Fox, you can't count on them, folks. They're just a bunch of vain people in it for the money, status, prestige.
And for the money, status, and prestige, those vain people over at Fox News, I can't believe they would treat him like this. So they made sure with these two graphics, in case you guys missed these, two of the most pathetic screen grabs we've had here from this monologue. I'm with Trump. I don't know if everyone else is. Fake News has censored him. He's completely been censored. Also, Fox News ignores Trump, but Newsmax doesn't. We're your friend, not him, not them. They're so mean to you. In fact, here's Laura Ingraham being mean. This is what really got him riled up.
So going into 2024, the Republicans are going to be looking for candidates who are focused on winning, not just making a point or settling a score. So to really change the country, we're gonna have to win, and we have to win over voters outside our traditional base. That means young people too. That's gotta be the goal for the next presidential election. The populist movement is about ideas. It is not about any one person. If the voters conclude that you're putting your own ego or your own grudges ahead of what's good for the country, they're gonna look elsewhere, period.
Period. They're gonna look elsewhere. Period. Greg Kelly's not gonna stand for this. As a matter of fact, there was this one image he was considering whether or not he should tweet this out to make sure everyone knows he had Donald Trump's back as those bullies kept messing with him outside in the play yard. I'm not gonna let them touch you, Donnie. I'm not gonna let them do it to you. Is it over? Is it the beginning of the end, Dan?
Next time, Donnie, call me and I'll beat him up for you. We'll stand together tall on the playground.
They get all the interviews at least, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of, listen, I love a good media criticism. I do a lot of this on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dan from the internet, of course. And I think that's perfectly fair to have. It's just that when I have media criticism, often of right-wing figures, often sometimes of left-wing figures, even Cenk once or twice, right? It's usually on substantive issues or substantive disagreements about like actual policies or actual things we're actually debating for people's lives and how that impacts people and how you can best change people's lives. For most of my short life paying attention to politics, at least pre-Trump, the Republican Party, yeah, they were pretty terrible. They were nakedly for tax cuts for the rich and for making working class and middle class lives generally miserable, especially if you're a person of color. But it wasn't until 2016 where with Donald Trump, you saw this own the libs, trigger the libs style of politics, where it went from just how you message your politics to no, that's just all your politics was. The story I've been talking about over the past 2 years is how Democrats were at least half-heartedly talking about climate and student debt relief and handling COVID and dealing with the economy. And Republicans were talking about Dr. Seuss and cancel culture and bashing trans people and stealing away abortion access. And so the Republicans weren't actually offering anything substantive. I think maybe, again, we also had this big autopsy in 2012 after Romney that was like, we lost Latino voters. Maybe we as a Republican Party should go after Latino voters. And to some extent that's worked, but that's also meant a lot of bashing immigrants and demonizing Latino Americans. So I think that a lot of these post-autopsy Republican moments are really interesting to see how they might actually be thinking when they're looking and the dust is settling, but they're a very fickle party. That's what I want to emphasize here. They could turn to Trump again if he is looking like he's gonna win or do well, or they could drop him like a dime if they see that, let's play this out really fast. Trump announces it takes all the energy from the Warnock-Walker thing, and Warnock squeezes out a victory again. Then they really have a grudge against Trump, and DeSantis has a clear path because he doomed himself. That'd be funny, but it all depends on what Trump does here.
I believe that runoff is supposed to be around the beginning of December, maybe the first week of December. And then so if November 15th, halfway through this month, he announces and then screws it up for the next 2 weeks or 2-3 weeks or so before that happens, there's an announcement, then after there's an announcement, you have to do something. Does he just sit back and be silent for 2 weeks? No, man, no. But that's where all the attention in the room would go. That's where all the energy be sucked out. Make the announcement, bro. But then again, I'd lose my bet against Cenk because I don't think he's gonna run. He can announce, but if he runs, I'm gonna start getting very technical with this bet. We'll see how it goes.